So I decided to try a Doom mod called Backrooms Redux, and what a journey that was. As you read by the title, I have not finished this game. However, if this video gets more than 15 views, I'll return to finish what I started. Oh, and FYI, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Unbeknownst to me, I started this experience in level 0, the lobby. Immediately, the game ensues paranoia through distant knocking. Taking turns after turns to avoid whether the knocking was coming from here or there eventually led me to a crevice with stone stairs leading upwards. Not knowing whether I was in danger or not, I wasted no time and followed through with this new discovery. This only led me further into the backrooms, to level 1, the habitable zone. I walked more and more and I saw a crawling space where I found almond water. Up until this point of the mod, I had not realized that I had a sanity meter, which was a costly mistake. As I explored more, I was introduced to my first death due to my decreasing sanity. But it's okay, we're not all perfect. Any death from now on, though, is a skill issue. After returning to where I had left off, I passed through a couple new areas, like the white hallways, and a near identical area of my first death. In front of that area was a fire exit, which got me further into this nightmare. I was now in a maze-like area called Pipe Dreams, level 2. After walking for some time, I crawled through another vent-like area, and after a near-death experience, I kept on walking, which is all I've ever done, and all I'll do until I get out of here or die. I found an unusual contrast in the maze which led to a new area, the abandoned office, level 4. To be honest, although the office building was abandoned, the possible once-human workspace was very calming, especially given the fact that it was raining outside and there was an abundance of almond water. I kept walking through the building, and in one particular room where I got almond water, there was a mirror. Okay, since I haven't seen any life so far, my brain automatically got scared of my own reflection. As dumb as it seems, I don't know what brought me to interact with this mirror. Whether it be loneliness or curiosity, I was no longer in the office. Now inside Reflections, level -3, I understood how big the game truly was. The WAD had some limitations, so the mirror room looked more like an endless abyss, and that thankfully gave me some time to recollect my own emotions. Had the room actually been an area where the walls were all mirrors, it would have given me the opposite effect. Being as reckless as I am, I didn't use the map, but I managed to actually not get anywhere new really, because I had noticed a divot in the floor, and I interacted with it, and it took me to what I can only describe as hell. Inside the human limit, I noticed that my sanity was fluctuating massively. Every hallway seemed each more disorienting, and it was long until I escaped, as I found a colorful tile on the floor, and I interacted with it, which led me back to level 1. To save you guys the trouble, all I did was walk more, which led me to a metal door with a -6 on the top of it, which of course led me to level -6, polluted nature. Now, in literal polluted nature, I noticed my both sanity and my health decreasing simply for existing, so I panicked and looked for an exit as soon as possible. I spotted a gray structure in the distance and I headed towards it, and it got me back to hell. I kept on walking more, passed right by the tower and into some large wooden doors, and it led me back to the polluted nature. This time, however, I found a new gray structure, and that was one of the biggest mistakes I could have made. I am now in Lights Out, level 6. I had to use a map to navigate because, as the tile suggests, this level is pitch black. I kept on going for what it felt like forever, and I found a wall that took me out of this mess. If I ever came back here, I don't know if I can continue going. Tripping on the wires brought me to level 9, darkened suburbs. I searched for any anomalies, inside houses and all, but nothing. Even trying to go inside garages and still nothing. But while passing by the houses, I noticed an alley. As much as I hate to admit it, this would only be the beginning of the end. I found myself in a new but calming area called Bumper Crop, level 10. I headed towards the obvious red barn, but then I decided not to go there as it seemed dangerous. Either way, that led to nothing, but how would I know? I walked and walked until I found a new red barn that also didn't do anything. I kept on walking until I noticed a different passageway, which I obviously followed through going to. And it took me to level 11, the concrete jungle. Exploring the concrete jungle, I noticed very suddenly that there was a manhole. Not wanting to get myself into trouble this quickly, I ignored it. However, I walked and walked, which somehow led me back to the camp, so I had no choice but to go down the manhole. This is the end. I failed. It led me back to level 2, which led me back to level 4. And although I found a new area in the office building, it only led me back to level 6, which I couldn't conquer again. The backrooms got the best of me, and I was nothing but another victim. Well, everybody, that was my attempt at the Backrooms Redux. If you guys want to try it out, I'll have the link in the description. Remember, y'all, stay safe. Peace.